mobile light meter apps any good? And more importantly, should you trust them with your film? By the end of this video, you will have the answer to that question. So I've actually had quite a few of these light meter apps on my phone for quite some time. And in fact, I even paid for the pro versions of a few of them, and I totally forgot I even had them. And not because they're inferior in any way, mostly because my phone is just a complete and utter mess and I can't find anything, and I didn't realize I even had them anymore. So I have to get that sorted out at some point. But ultimately, I've never really tested them and don't know if I can rely on them. And that's what this video is about. So I'm gonna do 3 scenarios and kind of see how that light meter matches up with my real light meters. It's one thing I've noticed. I've come out here a lot with my Hasselblad recently, and I just love biking the trails. It's given me a whole new way to look at things, especially riding through here. I'll see the light, especially if I have this camera. I'll just hop off my bike and start shooting. And it's stuff like this where the light's really kind of creating interesting looking images that I really like. And if I meter up the highlights, it's giving me 1/250th, which agrees with the Hasselblad. So for this scene, the lighting is much more backlit, and I'm just gonna point the meters in the scene and kind of see where it gives me, where it's telling me to shoot this at. So it's a little bit of an interpretation. If I want the shadows up higher, I would shoot it at 1/30th of a second at 5.6, say at zone 5, and that would kind of include those trees. So if I did want more exposure on those trees, I would bring that up. If I wanted to drop that down and kind of make it more moody, I would shoot it at 1/60th of a second. So I'm gonna just go ahead and shoot with what the light meter app is telling me at 1/60th of a second at f4, and we'll see what that gives me. Ready, Reed? You are just a filthy dog. It says 5.6 at 1/80th. That ultimately is going to bring those highlights down a little bit. Yeah, that makes sense because this camera wants 5.6 at 1/60th, but it's getting a little bit more of the shadows. So, oh, Mom is going to love you, buddy. Oh boy. All right, now let's go find a less contrasty situation. That's why I wanted to finish up that roll, but he's such a good subject. Don't kick dirt on me. Do not kick dirt on me. I will be mad at you. Hey, Reed. Mom cannot see this video. All right, before we get to the next spot, I need you to smash that subscribe button. I put out a new video like this every week, and you're not going to want to miss it. There's overhead light coming in on these ferns, and it's much softer, a more manageable contrast range. Ooh, that was definitely stinging nettle. Definitely stinging nettle. And it's saying 1/100th of a second at f4. So we'll go with the 1/25th at f4. So this is gonna be the last little place I'm going to shoot. It does look like some clouds are gonna be rolling in, but I wanted to point out that I also used my Light Meter Pro and it was giving me the exact same readings as my pocket light meter. So I'm thinking that most of these light meter apps use like the same sensor off your phone, so that they would probably give pretty similar results. However, some of them do have more features, less features, different features, and I think in another video I'm going to compare maybe some of the best light meter apps, because some of them look really promising with some of the features that you can't even really get in a normal light meter. I think one of the biggest benefits of using one of these meters is the fact that you have it on your phone. Now, I can never find mine, but once I get my phone organized, it would be a big benefit, because if I'm shooting with a camera that doesn't have a meter, and I know when I test this a little bit, then I don't have to lug another meter along, or I don't need another piece of equipment, basically. So that's really huge, and I really like that about these apps. And so far, I'm digging the My Pocket light meter. So I wanted to get one last one in more like strong backlighting, but the sun is kind of diffused now, so I think there's a little bit of dappled light right on here, and I'm gonna have to kind of move quick because the sun's changing positions. But I'm just gonna do it one last comparison shot of that, and I'm going to call it good. So let's go ahead and take our meter reading. So F4, this is saying around a 500th of a second if I kind of meter on these leaves. 640, 500th of a second. So if I meter directly off of those leaves, it will dull it down, dull the highlights down a little bit. So I'm thinking if the sun's out, we'll go about 5, 6 at 2/50th of a second according to this light meter. All right, so one last final note on the apps. The app seems to be really accurate within like a third or a half stop of my actual light meter. So I am pretty impressed. Now, I would be a little hesitant to use it with like slide film or something like that. For that, I would definitely use my spot meter. But the good thing is it does seem to overexpose a little bit, so it's not underexposing, and that would be the main thing. And I think what I'll do in the future too is do a direct comparison of some of the different light meter apps and see if they're all kind of the same in that regards, like overexposing. But anyway, I'm gonna get Reed out of the water here. I'm gonna go home, develop this film, and hopefully it turned out. Wait, well, you already know if it turned out, but I want to find out, so I gotta go. Oh yeah, and check out this video for the best apps for large format photography and your workflow right here.